And welcome back. As you can see, the collar is now fitted, looking rather smart, and the total height is 10 inches. I've pre-waxed the 4 locating pin holes for the next stage, which is the nose cone. Now I've got to get this the right way up and carefully align the 4 lugs that sit in each of the 4 holes, and there we have it. So that's all lined up, ready for the next stage. Total length so far is 7.5 inches and 7.5 centimeters, and it is 10 centimeters tall exactly. Now I've cheated a little bit because while I was away I prepared the next stage, and it is to finish the nose cone entirely using 8 of these little pieces here, A5s, and basically what you do is exactly what you've already done, only on a fixed pivot, and each one is self-located. Make sure you get them the right way round, unlike me just then. And all being well, carefully aligning everything, there's no breakages. And it seems that working off the main ring rather than the lower pivot is easier to fit due to the angle that the parts are at. Now it's going to get a little trickier because it's getting tighter and tighter, and I won't have anywhere to get my fingers in. However, perseverance hopefully will allow me to slot them all in nicely, like so. And there we are. The nose is now complete with its collar and gondola holds, and that can now go to one side. Now the next stage is a little trickier. I'm going to change skinny sticks for my UMP trusted sander, as it's slightly wider and I've got a skinny on the end of it anyway. So without further ado, I need parts B12, which is the one with the looks like a ladder of some sort. So carefully removing this from its holding frame. So that's B12. Move that out of the way, don't need it at the moment. B6, which is this one here, which is connected to a secondary ring. So being extremely careful. Give me a matchstick. That's better. Releases that, and no, it's not going to give. Yeah, there we go, releases that. So that's B6 on the outside there. Yeah, I'm hoping you can see this. Sorry, my hands were off screen. So there's B6, so B12, B6, number marker at the top. And this one is B7 on the inside. Gently remove B7. Remove that waste, that's not needed, along with that piece there, which is not needed either. That's B7. Pull the camera this way a little bit. There we go. Now you can see it all properly. So that's that. And put that to one side. And I also need B5. Now this is the one I was a bit worried about because it's got larger gondola pieces. So I'm just going to dislodge it from the main area at the top, and then gently, he says, ooh, prop it out one side at a time with a matchstick. And there we have it. That's B5, internals intact. You go there, you go there. And I also need C2 twice. Oh dear. Fishtails. Right, C2 is this one here and this one here. So we'll start at the fishtail purely because it's a little ornate and looks fragile. It's not the thickest of woods to be working with, unfortunately. So that's that one. And we'll try with this one. Gently breaking out of the sprue. Hopefully not trapping it. There we go. Now be released at this end. Yes. So that's the two fishtails. Okay. So barring any sanding problems, which I'm unable to get into the location points, sand up there. That's that one. Yeah, one there. So it's quite obvious if there's a hole, something's going there. So what you do is prepare prior, just in case. Piece of debris in that one. And that's nice and clean. And then we'll sand off the gondola support. Make sure there's nowhere else needs it. And then we'll go back to the knife. That's fine. I must stress that whenever starting a new kit, remember to change your blades. There's nothing worse than starting something only to find your blade's not going to do the job and it spoils what you're doing. You because you forgot to change the blade. Okay, so now we'll sand this gently. Just a quick pass, it doesn't need anything too harsh. Sorry about the dog if you heard him. It's called small dog syndrome. Anything and everything is a barkable. There. Okay, so let's get this piece assembled. So we'll start with the smallest piece at the back here. Now, there's no indicator as to which is top, which is bottom, so I'll keep the number to one side so that we know that that's going to be on the side there, out of the way. So we'll take the upper fin and fit in its locator, making sure we've got it nice and square, like so. I'm not going to fit the lower one, I'm going to fit the next piece, which is the gondola support. And by my reckoning goes in there, and it's quite obvious that this is the top. And then we'll straighten it up, like so. And then the next piece is B6. Now the number on this one is top center, so we'll use that as a guide and placing like so. And on the diagram, this is showing that sits in that way round. I'm assuming that's some sort of a ladder, an internal ladder, and that's that piece there. And then you do exactly the same with the lower half, locating as you go, which should line everything up nice and straight. If it doesn't, we'll get round to that and find out why. Like, that one's not gone in there at all. And it would be the gondola. So gently, persuasion is lined up. There we go. Little gentle persuasion. As with the others. There we go. That's all lined up. Nice and tiny. It looks like the back end of a fish at the minute. But it's, oh, we've popped off at the top. Probably due to pulling and pushing at the bottom. So we'll just give it a jiggle. No, doesn't like that. Okay. Didn't like that at all. So we'll try and fit them at the same time. There we go. That's better. There. All nice and fitted. Now that part is 12 centimeters in length. So as you can see, if that is the entire length, which it's looking like it. We're looking at a 19 centimetre length airship that's looking rather nice at the moment. And there we go.